What's happening in Coachella Valley? This is Craig Campbell for CoachellaValley.com, and you can see in my split screen here, I got Francois Rhodes traveling with Francois. What's going on?
Oh my God, I didn't even recognize you there. It's been so long since we have been both going in different directions. The world's going on. You tell me, man, you were out there all the time.
Well, it's very cool. We're in yellow tier, not quite yellow tier, red tier. Things have orange tier. I can't even get it right. But things are opening up here in the Coachella Valley all over the place. Been involved in a lot of fundraisers. We just got off with Sean Desert Sands Educational Foundation. They just have another Teacher of the Year for 2021. And so many exciting things going on. And you know what? Why I got you, Francois, is because I wanted to learn about Borrego Springs and everything that's going on out there, because I know you guys are reopening up. So many people from here travel there, of course, with the sculptures and so many things. Tell me, what does it feel like out there in Borrego Springs?
Well, first of all, it's kind of crazy because so many people from the Coachella Valley, thanks to you, Today's California, the Coachella Valley, traveling with Francois, and we have people that come in every day. Bighorn sheep, they love their bighorn sheep down there. They come in every day and say, "Hey, Francois, I saw you on the live Facebook shows. I saw you with Craig. I saw you on TV, and we've never been to Borrego Springs." And not just Borrego Springs, Craig, and all of you out there, everyone is being so adventurous and going to these small little towns that they've never been to before. I mean, we're talking towns like Pioneer Town, Julian, Ramona, Idlewild, all these little towns, Beaumont, Banning, and you name it. And they're getting out there and saying, "Hey, I just want to see what's going on out there." So it's really interesting. As much bad as the pandemic has done, there's been a lot of good as far as families getting together and doing things that they would have never done before. They would just sit in front of their TVs and computers and phones and all that sort of stuff. So it's really fun to see all that. But as well as I do, even though the desert, we're opening up here in the Coachella Valley, the traffic's been still really busy here in the Coachella Valley. And there are events, and I know we're going to chit chat about some of the events that are happening in town. And but it's slowing down in Borrego because their snowbirds did leave. But weekends are still going to be busy, and I think I'm ready. I'm ready for a little bit of a slowdown. Last farmers market is this Friday, so I'm ready to start working on some things for the new season.
Now, our summer's pretty busy out there in Borrego, generally speaking, because of the hiking, camping, and all the four-wheel activities that are out there.
Well, last summer it was busy just because people were looking to go somewhere and do something. This summer, I'm not sure I think it's going to be interesting for all of us. And all of our desert communities to see if people are going to brave that summer heat, because I was going to be out in the patio to do the show in front of this gorgeous rose bush that I have. It's crazy. I'm going to post a picture later on, but it's almost 100 out there. So I said, I don't think so. But yet I see some golfers walking by right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what people do as far as going to the galas and the events that people are going to have now. The Living Desert open here in the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs, Air Museum, Art Museum, all these different places that are open. I think it's going to be interesting to see how people react this summer here in Borrego and frankly, everywhere.
Hey, we already got comments coming in. Brian says, "What's up, guys?" from California 805. I don't know what that is, but maybe he's on the 805.
Could be. I don't know.
Hey, I hear that. I saw some comments on your Traveling with Francois show that you just put out, and people are looking for tours. ACT Tours. I think they're looking to go down to Borrego Springs, get a bus ride down there. You got to get on that. I want to be on that bus.
We had our first actual bus come into Borrego in the beginning of April. It was so excited. I was so excited. I actually deleted the video that I had of the bus driving up. That's how excited I was. I had this really cool video. I'm going to show it to everybody, and then I deleted it. But anyway, it was really exciting to see a bus out there on the road, everybody in the bus. They were all excited just to get out and go somewhere. So I get asked a lot now when you're doing a bus tour, So I don't know, Craig, I guess we better plan a bus tour. By the way, you and we have Pageant of the Masters in July, by the way, just so you know.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I saw that it was open. We put a story up on CoachellaValley.com. We're going to go, aren't we? We're going to go do a live, maybe check it out.
I have it all.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, no, excited about opening, excited about, they're doing it a little bit different this year, but we will be going one night in July.
So Isabel is from Norway. Maybe she might come and join us.
Well, maybe
She just put a comment up saying that she's sharing from Norway. So how cool is that? That's the one thing I really love about, of course, digital. Not only do the people in the Coachella Valley and today's California get to see it, but all around the world we get to expose our incredible valley here. And of course, Borrego Springs is not too far away. How long does it take to drive from Palm Desert to your office there at the Chamber?
About 70 minutes, 75 if I'm
70 minutes.
Yeah,
that's quite a ride. It's a scenic, beautiful, incredible. Some of those roads can be a little hazardous, but really a spectacular view out there.
There's not the traffic. If it was LA and back, no, thank you. But going out there, it's kind of it's peaceful actually. It's a nice ride. I enjoy it. Always something different to see, and there's not a lot of traffic except on Friday when everybody maybe gets off a little early and going home. But there's it's fine. I mean, it's all really good, and it's just interesting for me to watch how the different areas now are opening up and how what they're all doing. And and you say Norway. I always want to ask people from our international travelers, why do they want to come to 120-degree weather in the summer? They do that though. They love coming to the deserts here in the summer.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many folks actually hike Joshua Tree National Park during the summer. So you're definitely talking about, even though it might be a little bit higher elevations, easily can be 105, 110 plus in that park, but they love it. The camping, of course, is nice at nighttime. The sunrise, sunsets, so on and so on. You know what? Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, you brought up Joshua Tree, and you've been so involved with their music festival that they've had over the past years. And I was seeing how they did it a little differently this year. And I was wondering because I've been sort of out of touch with a lot of things. I don't know what I've been doing, just working on other stuff. But were you able to connect with them and see how they did it this year?
Yeah, so they've been communicating with us, of course, Mr. English and Cassie over there. What this year, it's kind of a hybrid. So, of course, they've been doing streaming, but they've also done these things that are called pods where maybe 4 people can join together, maybe their family members or friends or whatever, to be able to actually get tickets and go there and actually watch it. Of course, it's a scaled down show, but they've been doing it on multiple days, been very creative. Of course, you can go over to joshuatreemusicfestival.com and see the lineup, and they are doing music. It's pretty typical for there to be their music festival now, and then again in October. So I think that with the rules changing, of course, June 15th, with the tier system being eliminated, the opportunities there are growing and growing. And so I am seeing that they're doing some very unique things, kind of a hybrid. But I believe there's tickets for sale, Joshua Tree Music Festival.
Well, this is interesting. I'm finding this very interesting and very confusing, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're at a chamber or a business that does events company, production company, and people are saying fully open, we're not going to be really fully open. It's very misleading to a lot of people, because if it's fully open where you need to count attendees in and out and all that sort of stuff, it's there's a lot of confusion over those words, quote, fully open.
Well, I totally agree with you. That's why it's so important to make sure you make the phone call ahead of time and check in, because rules and things are changing quite a bit. I got Sean Webb from the Desert Sands Educational Foundation waiting in the wings. I'm going to bring him in just in case he might have something that he would like to add to our conversation.
Technology. Amazing. Hey,
there you are. Oh my gosh, Sean.
How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on your show.
You bet. Normally you're helping me out, but I decided to jump in, try it out. It's quite interesting when you're actually hosting and you're also producing the show. So I'm having a lot more appreciation for you, and just trying to remember not only what I'm going to say, but the buttons that I'm supposed to somehow push here. So I'm going to try some layouts and see what happens. See if I can actually what I do here. What does this look like? So you guys are too small. I don't like that.
Nice.
I don't like that. Let me. How do I bring you back?
There we go.
Oh, there we go. That's kind of interesting.
This is exactly why when I was doing the radio show for so many years, I never learned how to do the board, because if you're doing the board, you have to be pushing all these buttons and the sound and all this sort of stuff and answering the phone, plus doing everything else. So no, thank you. Good job, Craig. Good job. Yeah.
Okay, Sean, you got the floor. Just gonna
I
let
got
you
the
talk.
floor, so I'll tell you, we had a great time earlier. We honored one of our Desert Sands Teachers of the Year for high school, Christina Osborne. So those of you that were at Palm Desert High School, maybe in the early 2000s or most recently at Horizon School, you would have had her as a math teacher. But what was really cool, Francois and Steve, or not Steve, but Francois and Craig, is we had Steve Garvey on with us. Yeah, there's Christina right there, Teacher of the Year. So that was the picture that they surprised her at her home on the weekend to give her award and so forth. But that is voted on by the Teachers Association, and it's just pretty awesome that we had her on, and we had some old coaches that I worked with. I actually worked with Christina years ago. So it's just pretty awesome to have her on with us today. And Craig, thank you for joining us. I know you're playing around the screens and so forth. That's always a fun time. I've never done this whole producing this show from a cell phone. I'll be honest, I always use minimally my iPad because I know how small that screen is, but I think it's fantastic you're able to do this, you're expanding. And one thing that I've told Craig is the best way to learn something is by doing it. And for him to do the show today, he's got me on spot here. He's kind of got me on screen here. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm usually running the show, so I know what's going on here, but I don't even see you guys in the back. Oh, there you are. Phew.
Hey, we're back.
I thought you left me hanging here.
He always
You
uses
know,
the word
I am.
crazy
I'm doing
with
this
me.
actually, usually do it from a laptop, but I'm literally doing this from a phone. All of what you see right now, the three layouts there, the logos, the different pictures we're putting up, pretty cool. And I'm nervous as heck because, I already kicked myself out for a second, then I had to come back in, and it's kind of fun. But it's so helpful, you know what, Sean, to have people, because you guys can bail me out, say some cool stuff.
Of course. No, what's been great about us using StreamYard, we started about a year ago with we would just call it Coffee with Chef Mary. We just had some of our friends come on, and then it just kind of blew up into this thing where the district wanted to put us on all their social media, and now we have the pleasure of being on your guys' platform two times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We just awesome. Thank you very much.
You bet. It's really a lot of fun because when you are streaming and everyone's using their social media, they talk to their own group of people. And of course, with 750,000 social fans, we just get a chance to open it up and allow more people to really see what's going on throughout the Coachella Valley. I always feel like I'm a steward of the brand, CoachellaValley.com. It's not mine. It represents the community. So it's awesome to be able to bring in, Francois has been a co-host with me for quite a while and doing lives. It's interesting, Francois, once in a while on Facebook, a memory shows up.
I know.
And I'm like 2 years ago, you and I are doing something live here or there, always pushing the envelope and cutting edge. And of course, now it's like everybody's doing live, but we're going to continue to stay ahead of the game, right?
Well, I think you have to, because are people going to drift away from it? I don't think so. Now that they're so used to it, they expect so much out of all this. And being behind the scenes, Craig, you do an amazing job. And I think it's great that people see you and know you are the face behind the Coachella Valley in today's California. I really do, because even though the brands are so darn strong, it's just for those people that like that connection, and there are a lot of people out there that do like that connection, whether you're on there all the time with your face. I think it's great. So no, you just have to keep pushing the envelope, because you're like the man with all the experience and all this, and if you don't, then you fall behind. That's why you're always pushing me. He's always pushing me, folks, always. And I ignore him half the time, and he ignores the fact that I ignore him, and he keeps pushing me.
That's true. It's so easy to get a hold of you now. I could just message you, text you, ping you, whatever else. And I just talk about you behind your back. So sooner or later, you got to come on and defend yourself.
Francois, along those lines, Craig has been pushing me a little bit. One of the things that he wants us to do, and I'll go ahead and announce it for us, Craig, that we're going to be hosting a class eventually where how to use StreamYard. I know that you and I have been talking about it for quite some time. And I'll tell you what, if I don't actually say it online and on public and social media, it usually takes a little bit of time to start. So I'm putting it out there. Greg, I'm looking forward to you and I hosting a class where we could teach people how to use StreamYard. because I would say that's very beneficial for everyone doing live performances.
And you know, we're a lot. Oh, go ahead, Francois.
No, I said, sign me up. I need to be in that class.
Well, you know, and the thing is, I'll tell you why we started. We're fortunate enough to have a partnership with the Palm Desert High School, Desert Sands Unified School District, and we've been going in there. We already did a live show. We have 3 more scheduled for Thursdays at 1:30. And of course, while Sean and I are in there, and we have students that are literally in the film and broadcasting class. Mr. Martin there is the teacher, Joe Martin, and it's cool. And we're you know, Sean and I, we're just talking about that we really need to bring what we're really teaching those students to more people, and not just StreamYard, but we found a lot of different things. In fact, Sean, we're helping them. Not only do they have a television studio at Palm Desert High School, $1.5 million studio, but they also have everything necessary for a radio station. And we're working with Mr. Martin in the class there to actually create an internet radio show, internet radio actually station. And that's in the beginning works as well. So this idea of teaching is something real important. Self-broadcasting is here. 5G is here. People want to know it. We should be a part of helping the community move forward in that, I think.
Well, I might have to get back on the radio, but I want to ask both of you this. Are these kids fearless, Sean? Probably you deal with them maybe a little bit more than Craige is right now, but do you find your students are fearless when it comes to technology?
It depends on the age group and so forth, but I would say they're definitely very much into technology. I will say, like with the app like TikTok, kids are not afraid to put anything online. They'll dance, they'll do anything silly, and then they'll go ahead and post it right on TikTok. So in those aspects, I would say, yeah, kids are definitely fearless of that. And then I've definitely met students over the course of my career where families will flat out say, here's a phone at 5th grade. Whereas I've met families that don't give a kid their phone until they're 15. So there's quite a difference there. Quite a difference there. But no, I would say the kids that are using their phones from 5th grade on, they got a social media account once they're of age. I think Facebook and Instagram is 14. But once they're able to do that and get TikTok, a lot of them are just using it all the time. It's amazing, friends. Like we actually had students at Palm Desert High School that were making money being YouTubers. So they would record themselves playing the video games, stream that video game, and then because they had viewership, they were making advertisement dollars. So there's a lot of ways in technology for a student or for anybody to make a career. Definitely.
Hey guys, take a look at this. I'm just going to throw this up here because is that fun?
So cute. I was just saying, I haven't seen a lot of ducks this year. And babies, I don't know what the deal is.
His name is Twigga.
Twigga?
And Twigga, what do you think it means in Swahili?
Talk here, another fun video. Sorry about that. I just stuck it on top of you.
It's okay. Yeah.
No, Craige, I'll mention again that, this platform is pretty awesome to use because you're doing this all from a cell phone right now. You're sharing video, you're sharing pictures, you're sharing it right from your phone while producing this show here. So I think this, this is something that'll definitely be around for a while, I believe.
I think it's very, very neat. One of the things that I wanted to highlight real quick, let me see if I can actually find it here. Well, maybe not, but that picture's pretty, isn't it?
Gorgeous. Beautiful.
And here's the weather report, guys. Look at that. It's going to be 100 degrees today and almost 100 throughout the week. It's pretty. It is amazing how fast the weather really warmed up out here. Really faster than I was hoping for. So.
Well, I'm hoping for that May lull, where it cools down a little bit in May. The snowbirds leave because it gets hot, and then it cools down, and we all go, oh, this is so nice. So I'm going to think positive and think that we're going to get about a week of that cooler weather. I mean, 80 degrees now is cool, so I'll take 85. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, this is about what's happening. I just wanted to bring up real quick today, at 6:30 at the Desert Beer Company, we are going to be doing a remembrance event and actually talking about Joshua. He's part of the beer community, part of the home brewing community. He happened to die in a car accident May 1st. And tonight we're going to be connecting at the Desert Beer Company. We're inviting anyone that would like to, of course, share or participate. We're raising funds as well. There is a GoFundMe page. If you look at the event there on our Facebook page, you can go right there. Quite a bit of money. They're looking for $25,000, but I believe the last count's well over $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Help the family with immediate needs and all the things that go into that. It's quite tragic, but we do want to invite you and anybody that might want to come out there and participate in one of his favorite pastimes, and I think it's really going to be a great thing. We are going to try to do some live, and hopefully people can share some of their feelings and comments about Joshua there. So, hey, Sean, I know you got. Also. Yes, that's an in-person event. In fact, that brewery is completely wide open. Once again, you can go inside of it. Now that we are in our orange tier, they were able to open back up. And in fact, they've been doing live music on the weekends. They've been bringing in food Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's been a packed house. And it's a tragic event, but we still want you guys to come out, celebrate his life, and really talk about what we can maybe do for him and the family going forward.
And real quick, Craig, I don't know where that beer company is. So where is it?
Oh, very good. So first of all, there's four brewery in the Coachella Valley. It is one that doesn't actually serve to any of the restaurants or anything. So anything that you want to try, 21 craft beers, 21 handles, all made right there and only there. It is on the end of Country Club and Washington, right at Harris Street, just a block off of Washington Street in Palm Desert. Of course, you can just go to desertbeercompany.com and take a look, or you can go to our Facebook page. It's the top event that's up there for people to be able to obviously access it, the location, time, and anything else that you might, and the GoFundMe page is there as well. So, hey, Sean, I know you've been hanging out. I know you have a meeting coming up. You promised me until like 150. I got you 153. I'm gonna have you go solo one more time. So okay. You get the floor. There you go.
All right. No, thank you very much. It's been an exciting week. We just had our chili dog open, and thank you again for allowing us to advertise about that on our platform, on your platform. But the chili dog open was the 25th annual, where Desert Sands goes to the Lights at Indio Golf Course, and we had 109 golfers. Francois, you love this. We had 109 golfers sold out of all the golf carts there. We totally had the course to ourselves from 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock, and we took up all the tee times. We had a great time with 28 groups, and it looks like we raised over $8,000. That'll be all for teacher mini grants. Yeah, I agree. I applaud everybody that played. Thank you very much for doing so, and I look forward to planning my next chili dog open. I've done a lot of crazy events before. I've done a lot of fundraisers. Never done a golf tournament, so it was a lot of fun planning that. But I feel it's very much very similar to a gala. It's just rather than the sit down program, you're just swinging a club. So yeah. It was definitely a lot of fun, and thank you very much for everybody that played. We had some great sponsorships, and I'm actually writing up an email that goes out to our cabinet and our board about all the fun stuff that happened. We gave out 9 different trophies during it, and we got 8 different groups that are getting those trophies. So we like to honor as many as possible. So just a great time, and thank you again, Craig, for allowing me to be on your platform.
You and I also did a little bit of a. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Francois.
I said, how many types of chili dogs did you serve?
Oh, so great question. We partner with nutritional services at Desert Sands. We also have our own catering division in our school district, and they made the chili, they made the hot dogs that came out there, and because it's COVID, they had to individually wrap everything. Whereas at any other year, we'd have this tournament, and you're on the course, and they just slop the chili on and give you a dog right then and there. Because of COVID, everything was individually wrapped. The team over here does an amazing job. I call blue ribbon chili. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Sean, a quick update. You and I happened to be at the Laquinta Brewery there on Wildcat, and we did a virtual taste tester, which was a lot of fun. Yep. 144 people sold out. Francois, we shipped all the beer and all the food and everything to the houses ahead of time, and they all came in on Zoom. 144 And Sean was nice enough to invite me, even though I actually twisted his arm to make me go there. Because I wanted to taste the beers and do it actually in the brewery while everyone else was, on the screens. Just because it made me feel special. It was very special. We got a tour. But I want to know, Sean, is there any numbers on what was raised there? I know that was a kind of a unique event. That was, we sold out the live auction events right away. That was incredible. I mean, that was $10,000, and then it was a couple $1,000, and we put that in the tank like that. What was the final totals, if you have any, on that fundraiser?
It's great you asked. Jerry Neighbors, the foundation president over there, actually texted me last night saying thank you to myself and thank you to you, Craig.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sending you direct, but I knew I was going to see you today, and I want to share that they net $31,000 for that fundraiser.
Unbelievable.
31,000. And for those of you that are, want to know more about this, we had a Zoom. We had a Zoom with 140 people. And Craig, myself, the beer master, and a couple of people from Palm Desert High Foundation were there. And we just talked about the event. They had a live auction going on where I'd never been an auctioneer before. I got to be an auctioneer on live. And then we also got to learn about the great beers over at Laquinta Brewery. But it was fantastic, making $31,000 for Palm Desert High School. And their big funded need was to get water stations. And you may think that sounds weird, but the traditional water fountains, that you've seen them anywhere, you press the button, you kind of go down, the water comes up. Because of because of the pandemic, we can't really use those. So they actually went in for watering stations where you would go ahead and put a bottle underneath, and it'll just go ahead and pour via sensor. So I believe they got 14 of those. So we helped fund 14 of those watering stations, Craig. That was pretty awesome. But
it was cool.
As you shared, I do have a 2:00 Zoom. I do have to jump on. I think you and Francois are going to have a great show. I'd love that you're using this on your own. I can't wait to see you again on Tuesday. Maybe join us on Classroom Conversations.
Well, that would be fantastic. I know. Are you guys going to continue on when school is out, that Classroom Conversations during the summer?
Yeah, most likely. So we did it even last summer, but we went to one show a week. And we could definitely talk about that in the future to see what that'll look like.
Great.
Right.
Okay. Have a great time. I'll talk to you later, Sean.
See you guys. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, look at you.
Wow. I mean, it's so great to hear these stories about what they're doing and on social media and how positive it's been, because not everybody has had such great results as what you guys are having with the school and stuff. So that's really great. It sounds like a lot of fun events too.
I tell you, it's a lot of fun.
When you started the beer drinking, tasting, when you started, I want to see the video, how you were speaking when you started and how you were speaking when you ended.
Yeah, that's the fun part, is to watch the transition, as we call it, out of sobriety into, I don't know, a couple beers. And of course, we were doing some IPAs and different things, so it was quite strong, but just little tastes. So I think for the most part, we held together until after the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in a brewery. And we're like, well, what about all this?
Yeah.
So why not?
Good for you. Good for you.
Hey, I wanted to pull this up real quick. Let me see how that looks. So that is the lovelocalcv.com. That was an event that was held at Southwest Church. 15 different churches came together. We raised $125,000, Francois, in 90 minutes on that event. That was 1,100 people RSVP'd in person. I would say that there was probably close to, maybe not 1,000 people there. And then, of course, online, we streamed it all over the place. $125,000 in less than 90 minutes. The event was actually about 2 hours long. All that, 100% of those funds go to businesses in the Coachella Valley. Not one penny. Those churches are basically getting the money. They split it up between them. They then buy gift cards for all these different businesses, 135 different businesses already signed up on lovelocalcv.com. And in fact, if you are a business in the Coachella Valley, you can still sign up. There are some requirements, 50, they're small businesses, so 50 employees and less, obviously based here in the Coachella Valley, so on and so on. But then what they're giving is to practitioners and people that are part of their churches in need, say they need a tire, say they, some food, maybe some extra items. they're giving those gift cards to that business, and then they can use them. 100% of those funds are going to Coachella Valley businesses that are affected by COVID and impact. So if you want to sign up for that, or any business can sign up for that all the way through the end of the year, because they're not just giving that money to the businesses, they're giving them to people in need that then will go and utilize that. So this was happening. This is all outdoors. There it is again. That right there, I believe that there are 8 different churches being represented on that stage, and the worship team alone. I was there. I live streamed it. I had a great time. It was impromptu. I didn't know I was going to do a live stream or even necessarily be there, but I decided to do it, and they were so gracious to me, and I had a great time. And you could just see it was outdoors. Another thing, Mother's Day coming up this Sunday, right? It's the first time that Southwest will be open for indoor services on Mother's Day. So there's a little bit of update for you on what's happening.
It is changing. And when you're talking about all the funds that are you've been helping to raise out there for these people, what I'm hearing is that there are so many generous individuals that received their stimulus checks, and they said and I've heard this over and over and over, which it's just really mind-blowing. And they said, we really didn't need the money because of our fixed income situation. Everything was, so what we have done, they've actually just donated these monies to organizations that really need it. And it's nice to hear these stories of all the generosity that's out there when so much is going on in our world, or was going on, to make it crazy and upside down to begin with. So that's really cool.
I like it. So yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through, a couple of different pictures that I had put together. I've already shown you the video of the day and some of the different things. And of course, let me see, that didn't really work there. Let me see if I got anything else cool. I was going to send and if you're ever coming to the Palm Springs area, it's definitely a go-to is the tramway. Mm-hmm. I also think like the botanical gardens are really worth stopping in. The living desert, which we already showed the video of the giraffes being right here. I'm going to show it again. It's
so cute. His name is Twigga. Twigga? And Twigga, what do you think it means in Swahili?
We have so many cool things happening here in the Coachella Valley, and they're continuing to. I'm just seeing live music everywhere around town. I'm seeing a lot of different events are starting to move indoors, which is very, very timely because of the weather and the warmth that we have here.
Yes. How are you feeling the restaurant scene? I know you're out and about on El Paseo quite a bit. What's the vibe now in the restaurants? Elation, or did everybody kind of go, okay, they're open, let's go? I don't know.
It is elation. And in fact, for quite a while, it wasn't that easy to get into just because there were only a few restaurants that were kind of ahead of the game. But we're seeing a lot of restaurants opening up, and so a little bit of competition is coming back. But Friday and Saturdays, very difficult nights. You got to make reservations almost across the board. I'm seeing Boozer Hounds. That's a new bar. It's a pet-friendly bar and grill that's opened up in Palm Springs. We're actually literally starting to see restaurants opening up, meaning new ones are coming online. Kind of makes sense that some of them are taking advantage maybe of spaces and buying them, of ones that have already gone out of business. Or in general, we have seen businesses close, and and so those. I'm not sure where that pet is, but I know like the Droughtsman was repurchased and is now a new name, and that was a place that went out of business during COVID, but was picked up, and as a result, downtown Palm Springs is starting to hop and happen, and hotels, of course, are open. We got Southwest Airlines May 9th direct to Las Vegas. I'm sure you're on that flight, right?
Well, yeah, I'd love to be. In fact, I didn't look at the release. I just glanced at it that the airlines are now doing more and more, and all those waiving the change fees and cancellation and stuff like that. That's going to be going by the wayside before people know it. So I've been encouraging everyone. You can book your flights now. You can book your hotels, because last Sunday there was the most travel ever since the pandemic shut everything down. It was 1.6 million in the air on one Sunday, and they said that broke the record since. So traveling is just going to keep expanding, and these deals that we're seeing, and there's a lot of awesome deals out there still, but at a blink of an eye, they're going to be gone because the demand for travel is so high. So I still feel we're going to get a lot of travelers into the Coachella Valley this summer, probably more for the weekend type deal, but B&Bs, vacation rentals, all that, they're at an all-time high. RVing, all-time high. I mean, it's going to be a bit, even with gas prices, it's going to be a very busy summer everywhere. Oh. So make
It's incredible. You know,
Yeah.
people were always wondering, you know, what was going to happen when vaccines came and we opened up. Would people be ready to do it or not ready to do it? Would there be some trepidation? And there are still people that absolutely are not traveling still or out or feeling comfortable. But for the majority of those that are here, it seems like they're taking full advantage of all of the outdoor activities we have here. A lot of young people coming into town. I don't think I've ever seen as many 20 and 30 somethings all over the place, busy at each activity.
Yeah, Desert X seems to draw a little bit different demographic into the Coachella Valley. And I think once a lot of these people, the younger generation, once they visit the valley, they go, hey, we really like it down here. Because then they tend to come back for other things like Coachella Fest. And we'll see when that comes back, and Stagecoach and all the other events at BMP that we'll see. I mean, I hope we'll be back next year, because I don't think we'll quite see those events this year, but maybe next year. But
although there is talk about a new festival coming in Thermal and grounds that are actually out there, unrelated to Golden Voice. Sounds like they're really putting it together. It's in the works. Maybe it's actually not going to come back until 2022 as well. But I don't think festivals are dead here. If anything, it sounds like we might be getting more venues and more activity. Of course, we have our stadium being built, $277 million stadium right out there on I-10 near the Classic Club off of Cook Street. Gonna have hockey. It's gonna have live One Nation concerts, and I'm sure other things, and still visible right there on the freeway. It's gonna be a great location.
And that has to tell everybody something, Craig. All of our listeners, viewers out there, I still say listeners from the radio. That's funny, huh? All of the viewers and what out there, you have to know that these companies that come in and build these stadiums, and like you said, the potential of another festival and music festivals and all types of events, they do research way in advance. I mean, they are looking studies way in advance to decide, are they going to make that commitment? Do they feel the area is going to grow? And obviously they think the Coachella Valley is growing, but look at that housing market. Homes where I live, they stay on the market for 2 days max. It's like that throughout the valley. It is the house. It's like that in Borrego. The housing market,
I know. I was going to say, you know, you did a little article on
smaller.
on Borrego being a boom town and such a small inventory. And when people want to get out there and spend time, there's just not a lot of options. So pricing is going up, supply and demand. Of course, demand's high and supply is low.
Mm-hmm. And it's like this across the U.S. and these towns that it's funny how when you and we moved from bigger, I was San Pedro, Hermosa Beach, whatnot. You were more into the LA scene. We moved. And we think the Coachella Valley is so small, but now that we've sort of adapted, it doesn't feel that small. And plus, it's grown all the years that we've lived here. But then when you go out to a place like Idlewild, Borrego, Ramona, Julian, then you feel that's even smaller, and people looking for those little bit smaller communities to change their lifestyle. And you certainly do change your lifestyle in those type of communities.
Hey, movie theaters you can go back into. And don't forget, Desert X is here until May 16th. It's still out there. You guys can, originally it was kind of packed, to be able to see these installations. And now I think you could have an opportunity to maybe not have as much traffic and really enjoy them. But Desert X out here until May 16th. You can download the app and it'll show you all the locations and ways to connect.
Maybe Maryland?
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, Maryland, a little bit of issues, of course, where to put it. But it's coming. and it's definitely going to be here. I think it's interesting that there was so much concern about Maryland, and then they decided to install a classic car standing like this. I don't know. You've seen the artwork? I don't have a picture of it, but you know what I'm talking about. It has water underneath. It's quite iconic, and there it is, part of the Palm Springs Museum, actually. And yet they didn't really want Maryland in front. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they both are interesting and unique, and they kind of reflect the diversity I think that Palm Springs represents.
Definitely. I think Maryland, if you don't like the one position, shift her a little bit and it'll be perfect. Yeah. But people love Maryland. They're just coming for all these different type of experiences that are just, they don't get in a really big, dense city where they can freely move around, and just, it's just a whole different feel. Yeah.
So Francoise, tell me how people can tune in. Of course, traveling with Francoise.com, they can go there. But tell me when they can see you on TV.
Okay, well, first of all, I've been all over the map, you guys, and I am honest. I've been honest with Craige. I have been in my mind restructuring some things, trying to figure out which direction I want to go in. So I'm very upfront with everybody about that. I'm trying to do, and I have been pretty good, live traveling with Francoise on Wednesdays, the live show. And right now, because of some internet glitch with my phone, and anyway, I start out on the Coachella Valley page and then share it to Today's California Traveling with Francoise. So every week on Wednesday around noon, I don't always start exactly at noon, but around noon, I do that show from Borrego Springs, and I pick a different spot.
Couple thousand people have been watching and checking out your venues there. I love your show. Yeah, I can learn a little bit about what's going on. You're always at somewhere unique, and you're never really quite sure how the technology is going to work with you.
I don't, because in my mind I see the bars on my phone and I think, okay, I have great bars, but then when we go to do the videos, that's a whole different strain on the internet or whatever the heck's out there. So anyway, so that is Wednesdays around noon, like I say, on the Coachella Valley, Today's California, and Traveling with Francoise Facebook pages. The TV show is still running on Thursday at 1 and Monday and Fridays at 5:30 a.m. and it is on Fox 11, Hulu, Fubo, VidGo, AT&T TV, and YouTube TV. I didn't even know it was on all these. Craig, it's too funny. I finally asked the station, where's Traveling with Francoise on the streaming? So it's out there as well. My biggest thing is I need new shows. I'm starting to contact some destinations now that they are opening up freely without people wearing masks and whatnot, so we can actually do a show that's more comfortable to watch instead of all the restrictions, and we'll still be very careful as far as guidelines, but it won't be so obvious on television. So I'm working on it. I just need to get back out there on the road again. I want to get on the road again.
Hey, I want you to come in studio maybe before we're done with the Palm Desert High School, because it is so cool in there. I know you've already been in television stations and stuff, but I think you'd be quite impressed, and I think they would love to see you. So maybe within the next couple of weeks, we have 3 more shows. I can actually get you to do a physical appearance there. Meet some of the kids, meet the teacher, Mr. Martin, and maybe pull off a show.
I would love to do it. In fact, what's it, Thursdays? Is it?
Yeah, do it on Thursdays.
Okay, count me in for next Thursday.
Great. I like it.
I'm committed. I'd love to see the studio. I'm always fascinated by all that. In fact, it would always be kind of fun if you could show a little bit of the studio. I don't know if you have, but it's really interesting what goes on behind the scenes. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's and you have students that are doing the board and stuff. Are they running the show?
Okay, so the studio has 4 cameras that are more typical what you would see inside of a television station. Teleprompters, incredible desk. I mean, like a 40-foot curve behind them that, you can put whatever you want back there. The lights are incredible, the green screens. They have a radio station that's set up right there, an engineering room, really spectacular. And so what we're doing is they produce a show called Aztec TV, and it's their own show. Not a lot of distribution, it's really just being kind of pushed out on their own website or things like that. So we decided, well, why don't we come in and do some real live shows? Since they're really doing most everything post-production or after producing, we decided to come in and maybe bring some of this technology to them. So the kids are participating in camera. They're participating in doing some of the writing. I've tasked them with creating an intro and outros, some of the banners and things that you see along the way here. And of course, since some of them are studio, some of them run Aztec TV and they're literally the broadcasters. We want to bring them along as well. So what I've been trying to task them with, and we'll see if I can get some of the students to do it, is to take their phones out there and do remotes like this, and let me bring them into the station live and see how they feel with that. And then ultimately, bring them back into studio and sit them down maybe with me on that last show. I think it'd be very cool.
That is a great idea. I mean, sky's the limit now with the technology, and TV's not going anywhere. The streaming sites are not going anywhere. They're just going to expand and grow larger and larger. Radio, they thought radio was dead. Radio isn't dead. There'll always be radio. So that's really great stuff that you're doing. And I can't wait to see the studio. How fun. Yeah.
Well, I was hoping that Mr. Sanchez, Devin Sanchez, is the proprietor, the brewer, the owner of Desert Beer Company. And I was asked him to come in. He's open up at 2, so I know it was a little bit of a tight timing. I didn't see him come on, but I was hoping that he would share a little bit about his friend and what we're going to do there tonight. But I just want to remind you guys, if you're interested, remembering Joshua in the home brewing community. He's so well known. He actually does a beer podcast, or did a beer podcast with his father, current one, and I'm not sure what will happen with that. Quite tragic. Passed away May 1st in a car accident. But we're going to be remembering him tonight, 6:30 at Desert Beer Company. And we're also going to be raising funds or talking about how we might be able to support his family in this time of need. So, but I don't see him on there, so I just thought I'd make another pitch. I know how it goes. I mean, he's got so many things happening, preparing for tonight, and also 21 craft beers right there that he's responsible for, and they open up at 2 o'clock. It's really so good, Francoise, to see how many companies that are reopening, that are engaging, and the amount of activity in these businesses. We need it here in the Coachella Valley, and I'm always excited to be a part of it.
Well, you're doing a great job, Craig, and you will be there tonight. You plan on being there?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stream live if it's appropriate. I'm hoping that maybe we can get some sentiment and some feeling from those friends, and maybe it's just something that the family can have for later. Maybe when they're ready to be there. And I'm hoping that they might be there. I'm not really sure, but we wanted to participate when we heard the news. It was very tragic. And of course, the Desert Beer Company, one of our sponsors, and we've been promoting that business as well. Small business, we're always into it. And so we thought this would be a great opportunity to once again highlight Joshua and just bring people together and see what happens. It's a very tough situation. At the same time, I like the mindset, of celebration, and I like how the community is pulling together to really benefit their family and what we're doing there. So that's important to me.
His photo, he looks like he was such a fun person that lived life. Do you know what I'm just looking at the photo that you have posted? Where I'm going to
go ahead and I'm going to see if I can pull it up again. I think I might have.
I think it's appropriate. The celebration is an appropriate word to celebrate his life and help them out. Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
So it has all the detail. In fact, down below, if you can see this on my Facebook page, it's just on the events. You can go to the Coachella Valley Facebook page, hit the events. In there's a GoFundMe page as well. That's been quite a few donations, trying to raise up to $25,000. They're well on their way. A lot of people participating, so we hope if you can't make it that you might jump in there. So yeah, just look at the energy coming off. He's doing the podcast there with his father, and that's going to be obviously very, very tragic and difficult for any parents to lose their child before it's time.
Speaking of children, by the way, your new grandpa?
There he is.
That is so cute.
That was on my first visit. What a cutie. I mean, seriously. I mean, I oftentimes, we have to endure people's baby pictures, and everybody thinks their kid's the most beautiful. But this one's quite special. It does definitely have some great characteristics. He's so cute there. Look at him.
Yeah,
It's about 7 pounds right there, maybe 5 days old. And what a privilege to be able to go and see him and touch him. He smells so good. He was just so cute.
You were holding him, and your smile couldn't have been your face couldn't have smiled more. You were smiling so big. So that was really nice to see. Yeah, congratulations.
Well, you know, Francoise, my sister has 8 children, 10 grandchildren. So I'm no stranger to being an uncle and being able to hold little babies. So it's really neat to see my son Donovan having a baby. It's actually my step grandson, but I did raise Donovan, so definitely a part of me. Somewhere in there, he's got my blood. I don't know how. Maybe back to Adam and Eve. So it's really neat to see. So I am very proud, and I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would be myself so emotional, and just seeing him and just seeing that new life, and really seeing Donovan and his wife and how well they communicate and work together, and really building a team and building a family. And it's really neat to see. He's moving to Scottsdale, Arizona, just in like 6 weeks from now. So got an incredible job out there. Yeah, he's really moving along, and I think it's going to be fantastic for his family. And of course, his wife is in the nursing industry, so they really have a lot going for them. And I think it's going to be really neat. We'll see how many kids they end up having.
Well, it's a good excuse for you to visit Scottsdale. Love Scottsdale. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Well, there's another tour, ACT Tours, ACT Tours. Do they go to Scottsdale for any reason?
I don't know, but we can plan one.
I think we should.
Okay.
Even if it's just our own bus, we should go.
There you go. We can do it. We can do it. All right. Well, great.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, we're stepping on each other. I'm going to let you talk.
No, I just want to say thank you for having me, and I can't wait to see you next week in the studio. Everybody, thanks so much, and go for it, Craig. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll talk to you again, Francoise. See you soon. Hey, guys, I thank you so much for tuning in. This is Craig Campbell, special edition of What's Happening Coachella Valley. Usually doing it on Sundays, but we moved it here on Thursdays to put into the Palm Desert High School their studio. We're not doing it today. A little bit of challenge, of course, with some of the engineering and just all the different things that we're doing. So I am streaming live here from Palm Desert, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the technology, the fun. This is my first time at actually running behind the scenes. Usually I'm just out front talking, and I don't have to think about these things. But let me show you this kind of cool picture. Just love it. One of my favorites from Jim Savello. Took it a long time ago. So representative and so iconic, I think, of the Coachella Valley, and I just love it. So, hey guys, Craig Campbell for CoachellaValley.com. Tune in today, somewhere around 6:30, maybe 6:45. We'll be live at the Desert Beer Company, and I hope you will join me then and there. If you have any comments at all, any questions, just put them up. Hey, Crystal, thank you. Okay, I will. And Crystal, there's an article on CoachellaValley.com, a full article on the Boozer Hound Bar there, and you guys can take a look at that. But I'll also post it in here as well. Thank you for commenting. I really appreciate your comments. Fernando, thank you so much for tuning in. Hi to you as well. All right. Craig Campbell for CoachellaValley.com. Till next time, talk to you later.